Hello everyone, this is Flatline, and today I'm going to be doing a PvP game, and spawning on the bottom left is going to be the Red Protoss, XGS Revenge, and he's going to be my opponent, and spawning on the top right is going to be me, as the Blue Protoss, Flatline. Now this cast, or video, is actually going to be about how to defend um, Phoenix Islands. I'm still doing the 2-gate expand, but the same concept works for any fast expand builds. It just might be a little bit harder um, for some builds. Like for instance, if you do a 2-gate robo expand, the Phoenix Island can be rather very difficult to hold. But I do want you to take notes on some of the things that I will say about how I defend against the Phoenix Island. So I'm just gonna times 2 this because it's pretty much boring. If you do want to know um, my opening, it's the 2-gate build. It's one of my casts. You can check it out on my channel, youtube.com/fantasy2. It's gonna be like Sauce's 2-gate build, the PvP, but my version, because I tweaked it a little bit here and there to things the way I like it. That's a little bit different from his. So I'm not gonna focus too much on mine. But I do want to focus on his. Alright, so when you go into his base, a couple of things that you need to see is his chrono boost usage and his gas. You want to click on his gas and see, did he get the double gas at the same time, or did he go assimilator, cyber, then the assimilator, all that kind of jazz. So those are the most important things. So I saw his chrono boost about 50% done and only one gateway. Okay, this is very risky. If he goes for a like a blink stalker all in, I know it's not going to be any kind of DT play because of the chrono boost on his Nexus. Generally, when you see that, they'll be chrono boosting out that sentry very quickly. They'll have very few energy, and they'll have both gases. But at the same time, I'm applying pressure, so I do want to see how many sentries he has. Boom, I see 2 sentries. And right here is when I see the Stargate. And when we get there, right here, this is when I see the added gates. I also don't see that many probes from him. If you look at the units tab, he only has 23 probes. 23 probes because he's cut a lot of workers for this. I already killed it off, but at the same time I did scout it. I was able to cancel this pylon. What's my response? Boom. 3 gates. I want to get additional. I saw that he has only 3 gates, so I should have just stayed maybe on 4 gates. But you generally want to have 4 gates or more. You want to have 4 gates or more. I went up to 5, just to be super safe. That's it. So he's gonna pick up these 2 zealots, which I don't even mind. Because one, that means his energy has been used. And he's gonna be able to kill out these 2 zealots. So that's one of the few things he gets. Actually, he kills only one. I'm able to escape with this one. So right here, you want to be behind your nexus. When the engagement happens, you don't want to be up here. You want to be behind your nexus. You want to have it where you can funnel his units. Generally, they'll have a lot of zealots with their army. So it becomes extremely difficult for this player, Revenge, to actually engage into your army. You're all the way behind your nexus. You can see how I'm putting pylons here, so it's really difficult for him to actually engage into this. It's really difficult for him to engage into this. And he's still warping in units, but at the same time, I have 5 gateways. So as the game prolongs, I will soon have more units than him on the ground army. If you look, it's 34 to 32, so this is about the time I'm starting to get more units than him on the army supply. I'm also able to get a pylon inside his base. This is forcing him to what? Bring his zealots back. He's gonna have to warp some units back over here, back at his base to deal with this. Right here, I see his army very well. Okay, he doesn't have that much stuff. I have a lot, a lot, a lot. I could take this on fairly easy. So I'm just gonna engage in here. He has some stalkers, that's a good thing. I force filled his zealots because if I could take out his zealots, then that means I don't have to really worry about my stalkers getting hit up on the zealots. I can kind of focus fire on some of these units here. These forces were actually really good by him. He actually took out all my sentries. It's one of the worst things. But you see how it became extremely difficult for him to engage into my army when it's behind the Nexus. That's what you want to do. You want to have it where your army's behind the Nexus, and if he does commit, you force field at the point where he cannot have any of the sentries, any of his zealots go into yours. At the same time, I want to come over here, trying to do some damage. He warped in some units here, hold some probes. I'm gonna warp in 2 more, so I'll have 4 zealots against his 3. And this is a good time for me to push up here. He's pretty much dealing with that. Snipe off one of his phoenixes. You generally want to snipe off the phoenixes if you can, but if you can't, it's fine. But I'll reiterate key points when it comes to dealing with Phoenix Elements. Once this game is over a little bit, it should be soon. So he cannot handle both sides of the harassing side and the me defending it. So the key points in the Phoenix, defending the Phoenix Islands, is you want to have your army behind the Nexus. It creates a very small funnel for you. We use 1 force field to plant this. Also, because you're right behind the Nexus grants you a farther vision. So it gives you a lot more time to plant that force field down before it gets lifted up, because that's the first thing they're going to go for. It's going to go after your sentries, so they can take away your force field and allow the zealots to eat up your stalkers. And you want to force field away, or all the zealots away, because you want to have it where you only have to focus on taking out the phoenixes, right? With your stalkers back here, there's no units of it hitting off on your stalkers. Nothing's hitting it. All you're doing right now is, okay, my sentries are up there, and let me take out his phoenixes. If you're able to take out all of his phoenixes, you just warp in a lot of units. You have the 5 gateways or 4 gateways or whatever you have, compared to his 3 gate or 4 gate. Even if he had 4 gates, the difference is the 4 gate is a lot later than the 3 gate push, because you're not cutting as much. And so you can, with the 3 gate, you can easily transition into a zealot, into a stalker phoenix composition instead of going heavy zealot phoenix sentry composition, which actually would have been worse for him in this situation because of the way I've walled this off is very nice for him. So if you do the 2 gate robo expand, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for you because you're already behind in the tech way, but you need to figure a way to scout it, to scout the Phoenix Island. So this is not really to tell you how you can detect it, because there's different builds in PvP, obviously different openings with fast expands or expanding in general that scouts in different ways. So if you do the 2 gate robo expand, I'm not sure exactly when your observer gets inside his base. Hopefully it's in time for you to react to what you see. If you see him cutting probes, you see only 16 guys on minerals and 3 niche gas. He cut probes obviously, so you can assume an all-in's gonna happen fairly soon unless you see him expanding, which he did not. So you just cut probes entirely as well. It's just like treating off like it's PvT. If you're dealing with an all-in, you don't make any probes. You focus on unit production from there on. And that's all you do. You just focus on unit production from there on. Create this nice little wall right here. Make it really hard for the Protoss player to engage into your army. And then he has to transition into stalkers. And when he does that, it buys you more time. And then soon enough, you're going to have way more units to defend. And then you can take them out pretty easily from there. So anyways guys, thanks for watching. I hope this helps you out against the Phoenix All-Ins. I know this is pretty difficult to deal with. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments as well. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible in the best way I can. I can't say that I know all the answers because I don't really do any PvP builds besides this opening because I like this opening a lot. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel at youtube.com/flatnc2. Also, follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, all that kind of jazz, social media stuff. All you have to do is just go that website /flatlinesc2, and it should direct you to my page for that website. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.